This could be called falling in love. And when I think of you, for the feeling of my mind, for there's more vacancy room that I can find, for the never had such thoughts before, for the losing of you, for the one I adore, for the moment, for the mundane thing, for the kind of pleasure, for the living it brings. Just to be thinking of you and filled with the dreams that are keeping your love and feeling in my scheme. The free verse of the love, the dedication of what you can find the survival of, no matter what for your love will last. And I've been together for the all, though chaotic and difficult at times, and I can find that for the never losing you, if I have the love by my side for you last, and not for the fatigue, for the depressing or overwhelming about what's happening, or not for the good thing. Love will last, irritated for the angry or overwhelming, and enough for the understanding, forgiving. Kept me alive for the whole once again, for that love will last. And free for the rhyming and love, for the anyone can ever know, for the sweet dreams I dreamt, this is you, for the blossoming of the focus and the groom, for the turning up of the truth filled that blessing with the wonder, for the love, for the caring, your voice loud as a thunder, for the message worth of sharing. Filled with the dreams that never could be bound, without you by my side for the connection, commitment of what you could find a dream came true. Don't you see that I gave up with the dream and persisted in what I knew? Waited for the real love that's worth waiting for now you're here and she was gone. Now who's there? And that's for the habit, the dream come true. You can find a woman to tell you what you say you wanted to hear, but the first of the moment that is actually there or not for the disconnection. My mind realizes that for the tongue might fall. Fail to never know you for the big baby. Listen to eyes, the brain can see her obviously. Use the dimension for the endearing of the qualities of my tongue thinks, and I don't know how to tell you. I don't need dimes unless you know. For the case of there is any doubt, for the enough of the thinking, the feeling, for writing it down, for the always to thinking, the previous, and maybe the smartest, and the wonderful. You could be the kind of for the lovable, for the hug, the kiss, and adoring you forever. For the bar tongue, it has a writing on body, for the make that do better, for the singing, the feeling, for the you can have that. My thoughts are these raindrops. Flowers so beautiful enough, and you can be the rainbow. Splashing out waterfall, how beautiful. Like the full moon for the enough, for the cloudy night sky, for the this be the silhouette, for the wonder, for the eyes, and no compared to the beautiful one I see. I look at you in my thoughts. Come to me. And when you're away from me, I long for you. In my thoughts, the center of my soul that I yearn to see. The affection in your eyes and the blue dash of the love for me. I crave for the soft, safe warmth. Your arms around me for the caving of the comfort, for the easing of the peace. My body aches for the hunger for you. Exquisite for the torture, the delay, and the ecstasy. For the coming soon enough, for the longing for you, for the yearn. I ache. Please bring all that I crave into the uncomparable self for the coming to me. But I can find that for the partner, for the another, for this to be the romantic enough for the company of myself as I am, for the hope and the miracle that happens so very blessed enough to be for the only the content for that I can have guessed. Never thought I could spend so much for the precious moment with a special person to find out happiness within you. About the love, the sharing, the gift, and I have met you for the facing of life together, for the handling of joy and the sorrow, for the glad you're on my side, but by that, for the only perfect partner, for the loving and trusting of a friend. And with that, for the safe, for the within that love will never end. It could be a good quality if it was true, but it doesn't find the connection or the memory of you. But these are the things that I love about you, and I love you for the warm, sweet affection in your eyes whenever you looked at me, and a special smile you saved only for me. I love you always to seek that, for the have the body close to me, for the reaching out, for the touching, the holding of my hand, for the wrapping your arms around me, for the I love how you showed you care by the looking for your waist and to make me easier, more comfortable. And I love when you ask me to do the things you try to do them for this, instead of thinking maybe to demanding for the favorite places near me. You'd rather be with me for the anywhere else, and I thought that for more reasons for the same pit of page, and the space is right for the I tell you for the showing the person all the things that I love about you. But I'll just keep loving me. No matter what I look like, whether pretty or plain, for the weather, the sea, for the dressing up of the PJs, where you can find me loving me for this happy enough, for the cheerful enough, for the grumpy, the sad, for the absolutely never the waver, for the weather. I could be grouchy or sad, glad. Sometimes I change ways for the same to the time to criticize, for the feeling of the melting within me, for the sometimes I can find the love in your eyes. And the tolerance is endless, and however I could choose to be, for the having my love and makes me happy enough for the keeping on loving me. And I can find myself for the darling, whatever else I lose, and sure, no matter for the what, just keeping on loving you, for the I can be erratic, whether just to be the pest, the message for the implying of that for the love. I had many loves before I met you, but the interesting and love for the companion, but enough to be fun, for enough to make my heart pound, for the skin, for the damping and juicy, enough for the breath is the excitement, for the finding of peace, and your others are non-captured. But I could find that, but no one loved me like you did. I never felt this way before. I tried to please you in so many ways, with a word, with a caress, of a kiss, and no one understands me. You see the deep inside for the truth and you overlook my faults with something that you try to hide, for the no one satisfies me, for the body of it intertwining, for the giving so much of the tender touching. You're amazing for the mind, for the I can never find and lead. And don't know what the words to use and how to find my way, for the yearning for you to be the connecting, for the unite, merge. This to be the nourishing of the soul, for the feeding of the hunger, for the always and treasuring and the treasure, and inside of that for the adoration, for the I always wanted to be with, thinking of you.
Well, I can't help but stare all over, and it just seems fair. Up down the river we flow on, even after we're all long gone. Well, that river we flow on. Won't you take me with you before I'm gone?
Contentment, deep satisfaction. Before I met you, I thought I was happy. I thought I was happy when I met you. But you took away that happiness, but I never had known so rich contentment for the deep satisfaction and the total fulfillment you brought to me when you came into my life before I met. I felt a lot of things for the good things, and I never experienced that for the indescribably intense in the feeling that I had before I met you, for the thought I knew myself, and I did. But you looked deep inside of me for the found the fresh things for us to share. For before I met you, for the I thought that I knew about love, but I didn't until I met you. Love is a song. It let me sing and let me love you. And what I about to feel in my heart, for the butterflies can't find the nectar for when we are apart. You're the flower in the bloom, for the dark and the gloom, for the brightness of my day, for how many days and ways that I can need you, for the everyday becoming of what may. Love rhymes can list one person for the love, you can find that for the framing, for the giving, get romantic enough for the long, for the lasting, the kind. Been together for quite a while now, for that I love you for so many ways, and your voice and that touch and your kisses and your smile and the step that for the me as I am. I can relax. I can find that irresistible to be drawn to the total trust. I giving myself to you willingly for the sweet devotion that never fail. Fail me for whether patient of a heart, for you can love me, dear, for no matter what, for you've been with the right, for wait for the start, for this, just a few reasons why I love you like I do, for we have the lifetime for the happiness because of you, or one of the million for the most of the special one, for the radiant of the smile, for the brightest of sun, for the smarter, the caring, and how many charms in her, for the I can sing, for the wrapped up.
Contentment, deep satisfaction. Before I met you, I thought I was happy. I thought I was happy when I met you. But you took away that happiness, but I never had known so rich contentment for the deep satisfaction and the total fulfillment you brought to me when you came into my life before I met. I felt a lot of things for the good things, and I never experienced that for the indescribably intense in the feeling that I had before I met you, for the thought I knew myself, and I did. But you looked deep inside of me for the found the fresh things for us to share. For before I met you, for the I thought that I knew about love, but I didn't until I met you. Love is a song. It let me sing and let me love you. And what I about to feel in my heart, for the butterflies can't find the nectar for when we are apart. You're the flower in the bloom, for the dark and the gloom, for the brightness of my day, for how many names and ways that I can need you, for the everyday becoming of what may. Love rhymes can list one person for the love. You can find that for the framing, for the giving, get romantic enough for the long, for the lasting, the kind. Been together for quite a while now, for that I love you for so many ways, and your voice and that touch and your kisses and your smile and the stuff that's for the me as I am. I can relax. I can find that irresistible to be drawn to the total trust. I giving myself to you willingly for the sweet devotion that never fail. Fail me for whether patient of a heart, for you can love me, dear, for no matter what, for you been with the right, for wait for the start, for this, for just a few reasons why I love you like I do, for we have a lifetime for the happiness because of you. One of the million for the most of the special one, for the radiant of the smile, for the brightest of sun, for the smarter, the caring, and how many charms in her, for the I can sing, for the wrapped up in my arms, and you can find the choosing for all the rest. I'm proud of myself because I know I got the best. You're sweet enough for the glowing of the pearl. But I love you so much, and what a wonderful girl we could have been. For the here's the verse that you can find the attempt for the scribe, the feeling for the longing, for you can find yourself apart. For the course you can change the color for the eyes, or whatever you want, for you can come to me.
It's just about how nothing is constant, so everything's always changing, and just having someone just to be able to give your love to without a promise of a broken heart. It usually kind of goes hand in hand.
Hey, well, what else would we write about?
I don't want your silver dollar, I don't want your wedding ring. All that I want is a place to surrender all of the love inside. inside of me. I'm out here in all of the haunted times. I'm finding out all of my different wrongs. Last shot I took, you went straight to my head. I'm out here dancing with you, I'm not wrong instead. I don't want your silver dollar. I don't want your wedding ring. All that I want is a place to surrender all of the love inside of me. Everything in life will come full circle. Don't be something to someone you don't want down here. Oh no, no, it ain't funny. Bread, 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 we all need money. I don't want your silver dollar. I don't want your wedding ring.
I've held others
All
before,
that I want is a place to surrender all of
I've held others before.
love inside of me. It's about how
I've held others before,
it's constant.
but it was never like this when my body inhales and quivers with bliss.
Having someone just to be able
It makes me feel for the love of a rhyme could also be used for the relationship. And if not for you, I wouldn't know what true love really meant for the never to feel this inner peace when I couldn't be content enough. It's not for you. I'd never have that for the pleasure of romance, but I miss the bliss for the craziness of the love, for the sweet silliness for the dance, and I have to feel your tender touch. I have to hear your voice, not for the other to take a place for you're it. For I have no choice. It's not for you, for that I'll be the drift, and not for to know what to do for the searching of my other half to be incomplete without you. Not for you, but this could be described as fulfilling. This would be the love of the verse. You can attach this to the gift. You could be the own card, and you can find the sentiments for the bonding and the emotional bliss of the untitled for the physical rapture. Not realizing my dreams and fantasies, and go to the end contentment for the satisfaction of what you can know for the heaven in my arms and intense for the hunger for the be nourished. Deep yearnings fulfilled. I am open to your total trust that you are my refuge, my everything. And this is the best that I can find for the starting of what you can find technically writing for your metaphor. For I could be this one diving to the volcano burning. We the creatures of fire, mingle with the male and the female for the yearning for the heat for the sweet explosion of the desire. I splash into that pleasure for the all consuming for the enjoy. You, I'm joyfully insane for the passion for you, deep and full blooming for the long after sweet for this burn flickering at the still remaining. My body sizzle, your kisses, there's so much more for the remembering. I'd find that for the killing and too, but you know the bliss is for the closest that I never felt before. For my body to the heart, belonging to you for the peaceful enough that it never be complete. See more for the adventures that coming for we too, for the creatures of the tender, for the fire and heat. I've held others before, but it was never like this when my body inhales and quivers with bliss.
everything in life will
It
come
makes me feel for the love of a rhyme could also be used for the relationship. And if not for you, I wouldn't know what true love really meant for the never to feel this inner peace when I couldn't be content enough. It's not for you. I've held others before.
I've held others before.
I don't want your silver dollar. I don't want your wedding ring. All that I want is a place to surrender all of the love inside of me. It's about how nothing is constant, so everything's always changing, and just having someone just to be able to give your love to. constant. It's just about
This could be called
how
falling in love.
nothing is constant. It's just about how
This could be called
This
falling
could be
in
called
love.
falling in love.
everything's always changing, and just having someone just to be able to give your love to.
This could be called falling in love.
And when I think of you, for the feeling of my mind, for there's more empty room that I can find, for the never had such thoughts before, for the losing of you, for the one I adore, for the moment, for the mundane thing, for the common pleasure, for the living it brings. Just to be thinking of you and filled with the dreams of the keeping your love and filling in my scheme. The free verse of the love, the dedication of what you can find the survival of, no matter what for your love will last. And I've been together for the although chaotic and difficult the times that I can find that for the never losing you if I have.
I'm out here in all of
This could be called falling in love.
I'm finding out all of my do's and don'ts. The last shot
This could be called
went straight to my head. I'm out here dancing with you.
This could be called falling in love.
And when I think of you, for the feeling of my mind, for there's more empty room that I can find, for the never had such thoughts before, for the losing of you, for the one I adore, for the moment, for the mundane thing, for the common pleasure, for the living it brings. Just to be thinking of you and filled with the dreams of the keeping your love and filling in my scheme. The free verse of the love, the dedication of what you can find the survival of, no matter what for your love will last. And I've been together for the although chaotic and difficult the times that I can find that for the never losing you if I have the love by my side for the ever you last, and not for the fatigue, for the depressing or overwhelming about what's happening, or not for the good thing. Love will last, irritated for the angry or overwhelming, and enough for the understanding forgiving. You kept me alive for the hope once again, but that love will last. And the free for the rhyming and love for the anyone can ever know, for the sweet dreams I dreamt of you, for the blossoming of the focus and the groom, for the turning up of the truth filled that blessing with the wonder, for the love and the caring and voice loud as the thunder, for the message worth of sharing. Filled with the dreams that never could be bound, without you by my side for the contentment of what you could find a dream came true. Don't you see that I gave up with the dreaming, persisted in what I knew. Waited for the real love, it was worth waiting for now you're here and she was gone. And now who's there? And that's for the having the dream come true. For the you can find a woman to tell you what you say you wanted to hear, but the verse of the knowing that it's actually there or not for the disconnection. My mind realizes that for the tongue might fall or fail to never know you for the big baby. The sense of eyes of the brain can see how obviously you see the dimension for the endearing of the qualities of my tongue thinks, and I don't know how to tell you. I don't need that to let you know. For the case of there's any doubt for the enough for the thinking, the feeling fit right and get down for the always to thinking the prettiest and maybe the smartest, the wonderful. You could be the kind of for the lovable, for the hugger, the kissing, adoring you forever. For the my tongue it has the writing on about it, for the make that look better, for the TV, the feeling, for the you can have that. My thoughts are these are raindrops, flowers so beautiful enough, and you could be the rainbow. Splashing out waterfall, how beautiful. Like the full moon for the enough for the cloudy night sky, for the this be the silhouette for the wonder for the eyes, and no compared to the beautiful one I see. I look at you and my thoughts. This could be called falling in love. This could be called falling in love. And when I think of you, for the feeling of my mind, for there's more empty room that I can find, for the never had such thoughts before, for the losing of you, for the one I adore, for the moment, for the mundane thing, for the common pleasure, for the living it brings. Just to be thinking of you and filled with the dreams of the keeping your love and filling in my scheme. The free verse of the love, the dedication of what you can find the survival of, no matter what for your love will last. And I've been together for the although chaotic and difficult the times that I can find that for the never losing you, because I have the love by my side for the ever you last, and not for the fatigue, for the depressing or overwhelming about what's happening, or not for the good thing. Love will last, irritated for the angry or overwhelming, and enough for the understanding forgiving. You kept me alive for the hope once again, but that love will last. And the free for the rhyming and love, for the anyone can ever know, for the sweet dreams I dreamt of you, for the blossoming of the focus in the groom, for the turning up of the truth filled that blessing with the wonder, for the love of the caring and voice loud as the thunder, for the message worth of sharing. Filled with the dreams that never could be bound, without you by my side for the contentment of what you could find a dream came true. Don't you see that I gave up with the dreaming, persisted in what I knew.
Waited for the real love that's worth waiting for now you're here and she was gone. And now who's there? And that's for the habit, the dream come true for the. You can find a woman to tell you what you say you wanted to hear, but the verse didn't know when that is actually there or not for the disconnection. My mind realizes that for the tongue might fall or fail to never know you for the big baby. The sensitive eyes of the brain can see her obvious. These are the dimension for the endearing or the qualities of my tongue thinks, and I don't know how to tell you. I don't need that to let you know. For the case of there is any doubt for the enough for the thinking, the feeling, fit right and get down for the always the thinking, the prettiest and maybe the smartest, the wonderful. You could be the kind of for the lovable, for the hugger, the kissing, adoring you forever. For the my tongue has the writing all about it. For the make that look better. For the to be the feeling. For the you can have that. My thoughts are these are raindrops. Flowers so beautiful enough, and you could be the rainbow. Splashing out waterfall, how beautiful. Like the full moon for the enough for the cloudy night sky. For the this to be the silhouette for the one and for the eyes, and no compared to the beautiful one I see. I look at you and my thoughts.